You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
It's the holiday season here in New York City as they prepare themselves for the Thanksgiving Day parade. And we're about to have a parade of stars here in Madison Square Garden as Pitt faces Michigan. A battle of Treys. Trey Woodall of Pittsburgh bouncing back from an injury-plagued season. And Trey Burke, the Wooden Award nominee from the Wolverines. Coming up next from Madison Square Garden. Welcome to the NIT preseason tip-off as part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Pitt facing Michigan. It's game 2 of our doubleheader here as Kansas State barely held on against a very determined squad from Delaware. Game 2 is Michigan against Pitt. The winner will face Kansas State. John Saunders alongside of Dan Dockich. And this is supposed to be a neutral court. Everyone fights here to get here in the preseason NIT. But if you're Pitt, this is old school.
This is really old school. The team of the decade here in Madison Square Garden, 2000 and 2010. They went 28-14 here in the building. Jamie Dixon, as you see there, the Madison Square Garden coach of the decade, very, very comfortable here in Madison Square Garden. The Pitt Panthers are.
Michigan, for the Wolverines, ranked number 4 in the nation and turning that program back to the power it once was.
Well, John Beilein is one of the great coaches in college basketball. You're going to see 2 terrific wings here for Michigan, both sons of ex-greats, Glenn Robinson III and Tim Hardaway Jr. Both athletic wings that can shoot it, can drive it. The matchup, though, is going to be at the guard position.
So let's go one-on-one and see exactly where those matchups will play out in today's game.
Well, for Pittsburgh, Trey Woodall has been sensational. Last year injured. Now you see 4th in the Big East in assists, but even more than that, 3.6 assists for every 1 turnover. Trey Burke has been sensational. Oh, you see the assists there. Also 18.3 points a game. He's shooting the ball. He's more confident. He's just playing terrific.
Look at the starting lineups. We mentioned Trey Woodall in the opening. The senior is the guy who makes this team run. Talib Zana, though, big guy in the middle, has been their leading scorer thus far this season. And this Michigan starting lineup is loaded with stars, and stars that have come by their names by famous fathers. And for more on the Michigan Wolverines, let's join the 3rd member of our team, Andy Katz.
Well, thank you, John. Last night in Brooklyn, I saw the #1 team in the country, the #1 team in the Big Ten, the Indiana Hoosiers. Well, there's a team that certainly feels they can knock Indiana off that perch, and it is the Michigan Wolverines behind me. In talking to John Beilein earlier at shoot-around, he told me he absolutely loves coaching this team. This is a group of players who are not selfish. He's got the right guys in the right spots, and as Dan knows, it's very important to love coaching your team, and he does so certainly here in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, players always assume you love them. You know what I mean? And that's not the case. And you could see at shoot-around today for Michigan, John Beilein should love his team. They work really hard. Don't have to be told, let's go.
That's disappointing to find that out.
Yeah, later in the locker room, you just assume, hey, he's my coach, he likes me. No, not all of them.
Woodall comes to the loose ball. Hands it back off to Robinson. It's like having 2 point guards out there for Pitt.
There's no question. If this game gets close late, Robinson's a factor late.
The big bump they let go. Robinson shot from outside, no good. Patterson with a strong rebound. Robinson, a little fake. And the first mark of the game goes down to Patterson as he knocks down the jumper.
Patterson's had a tough year. I mean, he last year, CBI, end of the year, MVP, 13.5. This year, 2.5 points on 3 of 16 shooting, so make him 4 of 17. That's kind of interesting talking to their people. They felt like Patterson's a guy that'll play in a game like this, play really well. They haven't needed him to this point.
Burke out to Hardaway. Shot off the mark. Robinson almost had the rebound. Robinson swings it. Patterson thought about another shot. They step out on him. Outside to Robinson. Back inside, Zana with the miss. Adams gets a rebound and loses it. Jamie Dixon, talk about the coach of the decade here at Madison Square Garden.
Pittsburgh foul number 13, Stephen Adams.
8
His
years
first team
in the history of coaching college basketball than Jamie Dixon. Think about that.
That's amazing.
That is,
and on top of it, he's cool. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a cool cat. But really, he has great control of this team as well. I know last year was a disappointment not making the NCAA tournament, but with Woodall now healthy and the big kid Adams, who we'll get into later, and he loves his freshman point guard out of DeMatha Robinson.
Well, you mentioned Woodall healthy. Last year had that stomach muscle injury. And really, even when he was able to play, was not himself.
And stomach muscle is almost impossible to play with. When he played, it was based on toughness, nothing else.
Burke, as we mentioned, will a pair of Trays.
There's going to be a third Trey if he plays. Trey Ziegler transfer from Central.
He'll play. Collision on the floor. Loose ball comes to Pitt. Robinson with a quick push. Oh, nice move underneath, and the foul quickly.
John, I'm going to say this once, and then I'm going to stop it. That's a ridiculous call. I mean, Ed Corbett's a good official. I get all that. But college basketball is being ruined by just ticky-tack fouls. And that has to stop. The game, was it Gonzaga, West Virginia, was unwatchable. And in a medium where you compete so much for people's attention, calling silly fouls hurts college basketball, in my opinion.
Taylor turns around with the left hand, and it's short. Lightly, and that shows the speed of Trey Burke.
Johnny was low, which made him quicker. And then when he went up with a little one-hand George McGinnis pull-up jump shot, he had great touch and great confidence. Good people got that reference.
McGinnis, right?
Put the one hand.
There's some big ABA fans. We have a big ABA following here. George was a star in the ABA before he was in the India. Pitt has to swing that ball around on the perimeter. Woodall for three. Rattles around as he just beat the clock, and then out of bounds it'll go to the Wolverines.
This is so fast. I mean, so fast. Trey Burke plays boom, right there with the crossover, and then a little one-handed confidence shot. Look how fast that is. Look how low he is. Guards, if you are out there listening to this, get low with the ball, because low makes you quicker. It'll make slow guys quicker, and it enables you to power up into your shot so that you get it over the front of the rim.
Still walking low.
You'll be stronger.
It'll make me look quicker?
Yeah, and if somebody, jumps you, they won't knock you down.
Vogridge gets fouled.
See, another ticky-tack. They just need to stop that. That didn't affect the play. Vogridge was coming off a nice down screen. Away we went. Let me stop. That's it. I'm done.
No, keep it going.
Okay.
Hardaway throws it outside of Robinson. Three-pointer no good. Patterson grabs the rebound. Ziegler quickly with a cross and then to the glass.
I talked to his dad. His dad already worked for me at Bowling Green, and he didn't think Trey was going to play Trey Ziegler. He used to take Trey Ziegler to daycare with my son Andrew.
Now
he's all grown up.
I was going to say, now you're dating yourself. Burke pulls up.
It's the only date I can get.
Now no, that's not true. Early lead. Top Beeline squad is down by 2.
But they're down, and they missed a couple shots here. But I like what they're doing. I think Pittsburgh has been very stagnant. You can't beat Michigan by being stagnant. You got to find a post presence, and you've got to find something offensively that's going to work, whether it's high ball screen or some movement. On the other hand, Michigan has got some pretty good looks, just missed it.
Dixon comes almost to mid-court. You love that play.
Well, Michigan jumped into a 3-2 zone where shots are going to be on the baseline, but somebody for Pittsburgh has to fill the middle where you see the dotted line. Somebody has to get in that area.
Shot clock at 2 as they just beat it off. Zana with a great rebound. And then Zana just paddling underneath. The foul is going to go against Michigan.
3-point basket.
Gets called.
Patterson.
3-point bucket is good. Zana gets called for the foul.
Zana got away with it one time going over Vogrich, and then he tried it again after the three was in here. Right here, you're going to see Patterson knock it in. Bottom of your screen, you may see somebody go flying. We didn't have it.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving. And Rent-A-Center. With the Rack Flex plan, you can get 90 days same as cash with no credit needed.
Now the holidays in New York, nothing quite like it. Pitt loves it here with a 7-2 early lead over Michigan, and we're getting physical early, Dan.
We sure are. You can see number 13, Vogrich, battling Zana here. It's the second time during this possession. You can see him right here. Watch the battle. Right there, a little push, and then all of a sudden Vogrich goes right back. And in going back, gets kind of knocked down by Yana, and the call is going on Vogrich, which is a good call because he is the one that turned and initiated contact. I think he was frustrated, Vogrich was, because Zana went over his back on the previous jump shot.
That was one where they might have been able to call a double there because they were both battling each other. Woodall comes off. This quick screen gets the shot off quickly. Hardaway Jr. back outside to Burke. Burke into the corner. Jump shot from the outside, knocked down by Nick Stauskas from Mississauga, Ontario.
And why is that important? Where are you from, John?
Just outside of Toronto.
Stauskas, according to Jeff Meyer, assistant coach, they have watched him since he arrived on campus drill shots. The word is elite. Not a good, not a kind of good, an elite type shooter that makes him every single day. A little better athlete than people think as well.
They're getting physical at the top of this. Morgan comes off quickly, and then a rejection underneath starts the break. Into the corner, Stauskas again. And rebounded that ball. He's going to belong to Pitt.
I like it for Michigan, though. Maturity by Tim Hardaway Jr. Promise you last year he would have shot this. Look at the block by Glenn Robinson III. Look at this, just like Daddy used to do it. His dad was the best player that I saw in the Big Ten during my 16 years in the Big Ten. Glenn Robinson Sr. or Glenn Robinson II.
Player of the year. #1 draft pick. Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, Glenn Robinson has really done a good job with John Sanderson in the weight room. Terrific, terrific. Again, his body bigger and strong, and a nice charge taken by Jordan Morgan.
Morgan was set up.
Player control foul on Pittsburgh number 23,
You know, there's an NBA player right there. I mean, if you want an NBA body, it just, that's it. Long arms, strong chest, and he plays with his head up. You know, Indiana and Purdue had given away most of their scholarships. John Beilein, kids from Lake Central High School, Cherryville, Indiana. John Beilein waits until June 15th of a kid's junior year before he offers. Scholarships were gone. Look at this cut.
Great cut to the basket and great finish as well by Robinson.
Let me finish the point. Scholarships were gone at those two schools. Beilein had one, recruited him, got himself a pro.
So that's going to be tough for him. Dad to see your son playing for Michigan. He went to Purdue.
Yeah, but the fact that he's not paying makes it a little easier.
We would have been paying no matter where.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Good play by Robinson. That's a heady guard right there. That's a smart. The Matha kids just help you win. I see it every time Indiana plays with Victor Oladipo.
Ball knocked around loose.
It's a great cut here. A staple of John Beilein's offense. Give up the ball, change direction. Boom, change direction. Right down the lane. Nobody comes over to help from the weak side. Lay it. Watch how many times Michigan players change direction. Look on the bottom of your screen. Nice change of direction. Doesn't get the ball, Robinson.
Hardaway trying to back his way in. Spins it out. Shot clock is under 10. Burke's got it. Burke around 2 contenders. I guess he didn't like the shot. He went to the bucket like he was expecting a rebound.
Those always go in. When you shoot it and you think it's short, you chase it, it goes in. Trey Burke, terrific move. He stays so low. Look at him, defensively low.
Robinson again, the quick double team at the top. And Woodall knocks down a 3.
3-point goal, Trey Woodall. Pittsburgh leads 12-9.
Stauskas. Hardaway. So good from long distance. Oh, great job by Robinson. You talk about those long arms to chase that down. Burke, high off the glass, no good. Morgan go back and get it.
Great play by Morgan. He tipped it away from the defender, chased it down, had patience to shot fake. Best jump, laid it in.
Intensity levels pretty high already early in this game. Morgan with the rebound. Burke pulls a string on it. Looking to drive into the paint, loses the handle, comes to Morgan, and stripped away. Robinson to Woodall. The Moore drops it in.
J.J. Moore
Just came flying down the lane. I mean, flying down the lane.
If you're a big guy and you run the floor, they will reward you.
And they should.
Thought about the 3 for a closer look. Burke splits the defense from the free throw line. Too deep. Woodall. Robinson gets it back. And he'll pull the string on it. Robinson picks up the 3. Shot clock under 10. Down to 4. Robinson lets fly a 3. It's no good. Taylor chases it down. Now he's trapped in a corner and steps out of bounds.
You said it, John. When big guys run, particularly Main Street, right down the floor. That's where big guys need to be. Woodall's going to find J.J. Moore here. Right down the lane. Nobody steps in to take a charge.
Pittsburgh with a 14-11 lead. Unranked right now, but that's about to change. In part thanks to their great freshman class, including the Kiwi Phenom. For more on him, Andy Katz.
That's right, John. Steven Adams out of New Zealand has been a bit of a phenomenon in Pittsburgh. In fact, Jamie Dixon first found out about him in 2009 when Jamie Dixon was coaching that U19 USA team. He actually played basketball when Jamie played in New Zealand with one of his older brothers. Now, Steven is one of 17 children from the same parents. In fact, his sister won gold this past summer in London. Actually, originally won silver, but was bumped up when there was a controversy with the original gold medal winner. But Steven Adams has become really a cult figure in the Pittsburgh area, a phenomenal specimen, certainly on every draft board. And Jamie kept tabs on him for the last couple of seasons, and certainly he's starting to make an impact at Pitt.
Well, thanks, Andy. And already the Big East preseason newcomer of the year. Terrific by Stauskas.
Coaching staff loves him, not just because he's a shooter, but because he can drive it, he's quick, has better jump than people give him credit for. You know, talking about Adams, just shaking his hand, his body is exactly exactly like Myers-Leonard of Illinois. Just every muscle you possibly could need, he has.
Runs the floor for a 7-footer. Earns a trip to the line because of his deceptiveness.
Pittsburgh foul number 13, Stephen Adams.
Just taking right at him. And again, you always lead with your hip. When you are a guard and you're going into the paint area, you lead with your hip, protect the ball, keep it away from you, draw contact, flip it up, get 2 shots, maybe a 3-point play.
That's 2 on Adams as well. Our NIT preseason tip-off. Bracket looks like this. Kansas State's already advanced. The winner of Michigan and Pittsburgh moves on. All part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's.
You knew Trey Burke's high school coach was? Satch Sullinger.
Yes.
Father, J.J. Sullinger and Joe Sullinger. Oh, man.
Taylor with the finish.
Dante Taylor. Pittsburgh leads 16-14.
Pittsburgh goes very, very deep on this bench. In fact, you're getting 45% of their scoring is coming from their bench early this year. Oh, great left hand by Morgan.
Both teams are going to have to figure out the roll guy in the ball screen. Taylor dunked for Pittsburgh, side ball screen and roll, and their Morgan top ball screen and roll. That comes, how you figure it out is you either switch it, trap it, keep it on the side, or you get great help from the weak side.
Lobbing to Taylor, and then he gets smacked on the head by McGarry, it looked like.
Mitch McGarry's interesting kid. Chesterton, Indiana, same town as Zach Novak, who was a terrific leader for Michigan last year, but he ended up going to a prep school. McGarry did. At one point, he was a #1 ranked player, or certainly in the top 5, maybe not quite the #1. High motor kid. Struggled a little bit here, maybe not getting as much done as people think, but ultimately the coaching staff at Michigan thinks he is the key, Mitch McGarry, to their season, how far they can go.
Look where Jamie Dixon is. I'll tell you what, give him a pair of shorts. He's almost in the game. He's at the scorer's table. Maybe he's going to check in. Taylor sits a high screen, trying to split it no good. McGarry, the big fella, runs 250 pounds, easy.
Julius Irving, that is one hand with the swoop. Heck of a play.
Michigan on top for the first time today. Pushing into the corner back out. And Michigan doing a nice job defensively. Robinson cut off. Shot clock's at 5. Beaten nicely by Cameron Wright.
That was a good defensive possession by Michigan. But as you hear all the time on our network, sometimes good offense beats good defense. And that time, just lift up, go ahead and make it by Wright.
Hardaway Jr. stripped to the ball. Taylor!
Dante Taylor. Pittsburgh leads 21-18.
Spike Albrecht running the point. Michigan also goes deep into their bench.
Spike Albrecht's dad, Chucko, was a friend of mine and the greatest youth basketball player in the history of Indiana.
That's
Mr. Bitty basketball world, his dad, Chucko, was.
Spike got the nickname because of baseball, not because of basketball. Whereas baseball spikes everywhere he went. It's tough to play basketball with Spike. Slipping.
Depends on where you're playing.
Yeah, that's true. Dirt courts. Hardaway with the rebound. He wants to run. And he gets to finger roll. This is old-time basketball.
Well, George Gervin, I can finger roll. You know, one of the things that Tim Hardaway does not lack is ability. And you see Taylor with the dunk on the run. Now, Tim Hardaway can make bad plays by over-penetrating. He did there, and now he comes right back and gets himself a layup in traffic.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. We'll see you at halftime. Right now, we got 6 minutes left here in the first half. Beast Week presented by Lowe's as Pitt has the lead. How do we get this young guy to stay up so late? Uh-oh, wait a second.
Uh-oh. Those are tired eyes right there. Look at this guy.
He's on his second game of the night.
Get him some coffee.
I think there could be an arrest involved if you did that. So Hardaway Jr. with a chance to make this a three-point play. Tim Hardaway Jr. First time to play here at Madison Square Garden, but of course his dad was a member of the Miami Heat, played in some epic battles here in Madison Square Garden, including one that literally turned into a battle in the fight between the Knicks and the Heat.
And Jeff Van Gundy went out there and dominated that fight. He went out there and cleaned out.
Alonzo Mourning's leg has never been the same.
No, he took people's lunch money then.
Pitt trying to find an opening. Zana sets the screen high. Robinson off of it. And then fires outside where Johnson buries it three.
Just a little roll replace action. Side ball the screen, dive the screener, replace him with a man from the same block. That being Johnson's tough action to defend. Johnson wide open.
Burke gets a couple of Panthers in the air, and he'll go to the free throw line. He is lightning quick.
There's just nobody on the court
Pittsburgh foul on number 1,
that
Trey
can keep
Wood.
him in front of them. And there's some quick, tough guys out there. Trey Woodall, Robinson, but he's just at a different level and has a different gear.
Unanimous Big Ten all-freshman.
You know, we have to say, talking about all Big Ten, Tim Frazier is out for the season, got hurt in Puerto Rico, and for Patrick Chambers and Penn State, that's just awful, but more so for the kid, obviously.
Yes.
You get a chance to be an all-Big Ten player, lead a resurgence, hopefully, for them of Penn State basketball, and to be lost for the season is just awful.
Definitely send our best along to him. Speedy recovery. Woodall trap. Robinson out of the corner, no good. And then the foul going after the rebound. With more on the Wolverines, let's check in again with Andy Katz.
Well, I know Dan certainly remembers these three Wolverines from last season: Zach Novak, Stu Douglas, and Evan Smatras, who actually transferred to Maryland in the offseason. And I asked John Beilein, what does he miss most from those three players earlier today? And he says it is on the defensive end, because these younger players, it just takes them a little bit while to grasp his defensive principles. What do you think, Dan? What did they miss from those three guys?
I agree with that, but more so, in my opinion, John knows better than I do, but leadership. I mean, with those two kids, Novak, and I just talked to Novak a few weeks ago, he's playing overseas. You know, those two kids were such great leaders and had an incredible pride amongst themselves of making sure that Michigan got back relative. Now, Stuart Douglas did not really recruit him. Went to Michigan, carved out a great career. Zach Novak was not recruited. I mean, Zach Novak was a late signing that was going to play baseball at different places and was a great leader at Michigan.
Offensive foul as Woodall drove, dished, but kept on driving, and that's his second.
And that's big. He's going to have to come out of the game. But Michigan has done a much better job since early in the game of getting to help side. They were too spread out early in the game, and you saw a couple of lanes. Now they're getting to help side more. And when you get to help side, you come up with deflections and you come up with charges.
Nice job by Robinson to get to the spot, too. Stauskas tried to make the dish. Horford wasn't ready for it. There's Jamie Dixon, kind of just a few more feet, Jamie. You can check it in the game.
They'll give you 3 or 4 warnings. And with a guy the credentials of Jamie, they may give him 10 more.
Hardaway. And a timeout called by Jamie Dixon. I'm not sure the officials have noticed, because the ball's down the other end of the floor.
30-second timeout ball.
We've got a very, very good one here in the second of our doubleheader. The season tip-off. Back here at Madison Square Garden, John Saunders, Dan Dockich, and Andy Katz. 25-24 lead for the Michigan Wolverines. Robinson. Do most of the ball handling now. Woodall picked up his second foul. Nothing he's not accustomed to anyway. Patterson almost has it stripped. Michigan showing some nice chops on defense here as the shot clock drops down to 7. Wright lines up a three-pointer and knocks it in.
Well, that's the second three. Both times late clock when Michigan, as you said, was really guarded. But a little penetration to the middle drew the man off of Wright, and Wright just stepped up, knocked it in. Second time. He didn't need a floater. He had him beat. He had Robinson beat. He needed one more dribble, put his hands on the backboard.
Pittsburgh foul number 42,
against Talib Zana. We'll get back to Madison Square Garden in a moment. Chris, thank you very, very much. We'll look forward to that. You guys will run down all the day's highlights. At Kentucky scare somewhat. They pulled away at the end. Just the same on their home floor as here we're at Madison Square Garden. Supposedly a neutral court, although the Panthers have been very, very successful here as part of the Big East.
Well, speaking of the Big East, last night Georgetown, unranked, took Indiana to overtime. Today, Pittsburgh, unranked, through 17 minutes, leading Michigan. I don't care where you rank, these two teams can play, Georgetown and Pittsburgh. Really good basketball teams, well coached, tough, just what you'd expect.
I know it's barely a half, but it's hard to believe that there are 20, 25 teams better than Pitt. So I'm watching right now.
And same with Georgetown last night. Georgetown was really good. Otto Porter, one of the great players in the country.
Zana sets the screen. Pass almost picked off by Stauskas. Oh, they beat the shot clock barely. As Moore laid it up and in. Left his fingers just before that buzzer went off.
Did you think it beat the shot clock?
No, I didn't. But I, you know, for television and sake and storyline, yeah, it was good. It was awfully close.
I think the refs missed the double pump. Wide open Hardaway.
Hardaway won't miss too many when he's wide open like that. Bounces around. Last touch by Michigan.
Hardaway really struggled last year. 28%. Let's see. On the pump. No, not good. You see the light at the top. Ball was still in the hands. Watch the light at the top. I don't know. Look good.
Yeah, it's hard to see from there.
Good call by him. I'll go anywhere you want with that.
It's on the board. It was good. Robinson and Zana against it to screen. Then out of it, cuts to the basket. Oh, that is pretty basketball.
That side ball screen is giving Michigan all kinds of fits. That time, Hardaway was in good defensive position. He just wasn't far enough off the lane, and Zana made a terrific catch up and shot.
7-0 run by the Pitt Panthers has opened up a 6-point lead.
Side ball screen. Zana 42. Ball to the corner. Cuts. You see Hardaway there, but he's too far under the basket. You have to be able to read that and come up towards the shooter, and if nothing else, make him put it on the floor.
Tuesday on ESPN is the ACC Big Ten Challenge at 7:30. NC State taking on Michigan. These very Wolverines you're watching now. And then at 9:30, North Carolina facing the #1 team in the nation, Indiana. The ACC Big Ten Challenge Tuesday on ESPN. You can also catch it live on Watch ESPN. ESPN, the home court of college hoops.
Mike Tirico, myself, doing the Michigan-North Carolina State game. Going to be interesting to see how North Carolina State bounces back. Championship game of the Puerto Rican Tipoff Classic. They just got handled by a great freshman, Marcus Smart of Oklahoma State. Just got absolutely handled by he and LeBron Nash.
defensively the last few trips. Burke gets it to Sauskas. Hardaway now. Pitt, you know, is going to play hard every trip on defense. Oh, the ball stripped away from Robinson the third. Right. Took it right at Burke, made him back off, and then threw it off the glass.
Big time play by Cameron Wright, only averaging 3.7 points a game, but has knocked in a couple threes and a great layup.
Stauskas going down the lane. Moore commits the foul.
Lots of defense when you take the ball in the traffic and the defense doesn't get split. Good things happen, but as you said, John, he takes the ball, Wright does, directly at the chest of Trey Burke, which freezes him and causes him to back off, or he would have committed a foul. That's a guy, Cameron Wright, that's played a lot of basketball in the parking lot, in the schoolyard, wherever. I mean, you don't make that play just by getting on a shooting gun and shooting jump shots.
Foul was actually called on Robinson, so Jamie Dixon has his two star guards, each with a couple of fouls on him. He'll leave Robinson on the floor. Woodall is on the bench with 2 fouls.
Let's see side ball screen here. Late clock for Robinson. Here it comes.
Giannis sets it and comes to the bucket again. Moore. Oh, completely cross court, but I'll tell you what, in fairness to him, that guy in the second row was wide open.
Yeah, he was, and his hands were open. But in fairness to him also, Robinson missed a play. He went to the right when a shooter was coming up to the left and was wide open. Robinson just didn't see the floor well enough. Occasionally, guys in the second row will be wide open. It's a tough shot from there.
John Beilein gets Stauskas back on the floor for another 3-point shooter. With the final 20 seconds here, they'll be able to take the final shot of this first half.
Well, if this goes down any farther, you're going to see Trey Burke come up and get the ball. His high ball screen coming. Shooter spread.
Burke. Good defenses. Yes, take it back out. 2 left. Burke lets it go. Beats the buzzer and knocks it in.
Jamie Dixon is hostile because the defender got beat away from the ball screen. And rule of thumb, always send the man to the ball screen. And Jamie Dixon went actually the wrong way out of the arena and realized it, but he was so hot, he went back the other way.
Well, maybe he's going to Michigan's locker room. Who knows? It might have been unhappy with everything and decided to go to the Wolverines locker room and talk to them. Right now, let's go to Andy Katz.
All right, thank you, John. Jamie, outside of that last possession, you guys have really controlled tempo. Why have you been so effective at really pushing the basketball with this group of guys?
We're pretty good offensively. We're making good decisions, a couple over penetrations, but we're playing hard defensively. They're a good team. They spread you out, but we got, obviously the fouls have been a big difference. 10-4 in fouls. We've got to stay under control, guard, keep them in front of us, and get a little better at that in the second half.
What frustrated you the most on that last possession?
Oh, no, they made a tough shot. It was a good play. We were in position. The guy made a tough shot.
All right, thanks, Jamie.
All right, thanks.
It's a veteran coach right there.
Nothing bothered him at all. Here's another look at it. Pitt with the lead at halftime. Let's go to Chris Cotter, Jay Williams, Seth Greenberg, and the Land Rover halftime report.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
Back here at the NIT season tip-off, part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Pitt with a 4-point lead. John Saunders alongside of Dan Dockridge gets ready for the second half. Quite simply put, if you play defense extremely hard, it will reward you.
It will. 4 baskets for Pittsburgh in transition, most of them coming off their defense. Now, Pittsburgh unranked, but playing great perimeter defense. Trey Burke has gotten away a little bit, but you see, Right here, pass comes, ball is seen by Robinson, transition, and here comes Moore running right down the middle of the lane. Nobody steps in. For Michigan, as I said, 4 baskets. This has been a real problem for Michigan. Over dribbling. Michigan only has 3 assists. Now, they average 17 assists. They're more of a ball and people movement offense than a dribble offense. Dribbling and bad passing. 4 baskets in transition for Pittsburgh because of dribbling and bad passing by Michigan.
Hardaway pulls up. 3-pointer rims in and out. Robinson with a quick push. He's got the big man Adams back on the floor. He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half. Patterson, jump stop, count it.
Scoring the basket for Lamar Patterson.
You're kidding me! Damn, help him out!
Michigan foul on number 52.
Beeline doesn't look like he agrees with that.
Beeline absolutely doesn't agree, but right here, jump stop.
Lamar Patterson.
It was an awkward jump stop, but he came down left foot forward, didn't move the left foot. Right foot definitely skidded, but the left foot came down first, so it was the pivot foot. Pretty good call. 3-point play.
Largest lead of the game here in the first minute of the second half. Hardaway. Saw Robinson cutting baseline, but couldn't hit him. Long pass anyway. Morgan. Adams swung at the ball. Morgan's got 2 bodies to go around. He can't. Adams with the rebound.
John, Michigan is standing too much. When they're cutting, they're not cutting hard.
Woodall for 3.
And that's going to be key in this game. Michigan needs to find offense. This is an explosive team, either transition or with harder cutting. Nobody is cutting. That's what I'm saying. Transition, great, because they have guys in Hardaway, Robinson, Burke that can certainly run. But when it comes down, if it does come down to a half-court game, Michigan's going to have to move people and move the ball instead of dribbling.
And again, foul that time is going to be on Robinson, who had hands all over him. Let's check in again with the 3rd member of our team, Andy Katz.
Right before the start of the second half, I just talked to John Beeline, and he says, look, Pittsburgh was getting way too many easy shots, and we've got to keep them off the offensive backboard. He also said that Pitt was making the tougher shots that they weren't able to make on their end. So he ended it by saying, look, if we can get some easier shots, we've got a chance here.
They get easier shots. The way they get easier shots is by moving, right? Either moving the ball down the floor in transition, or tight cuts, slashes to the rim, tight cuts off a down screen, slashes to the rim, back screen, rescreen. Here's going to be a tight cut left side.
Stauskas was trying to come to the ball. Hardaway. Morgan drops it back off to Hardaway Jr. Stauskas from the baseline. Jump shot is good. He does have a sweet-looking stroke.
He has a great stroke. One dribble pull-up, and you know what, John? He jumped up nice, too. He didn't just jump up a little bit. He jumped up high in the air to knock that in.
Robinson.
Watch under the bucket. Zana and Robinson really going after when the ball is on Zana's side.
Zana and Adams out there. They got some big guys on the front court. Shot clock is down to 6. It's at 4. Robinson recognizes. Turnaround no good. Zana with the rebound and gets fouled.
It's a bad matchup for Michigan. I mean, Zana just shoved before the shot was taken. He understood the rebound was coming to the right side. Before it was taken, he just knocked Glenn Robinson III under the basket.
And get another big body on there. McGarry's going to come in.
I thought McGarry may be coming in for Robinson to take care of Zana.
Good hands by Stauskas. Quick strip. Woodall spins. Cut off. Loses the handle. Now Burke with a chance to run. Into the corner. Off the fingertips of Stauskas and out of bounds.
John, you know, the three-point line's been in there since '87, and kids are so used to playing to the three-point line. And right there, Stauskas tried to keep his feet behind the three-point line and reach in front to make the pass instead of moving his feet, catching the ball. Don't worry about the three-point shot. Worry about getting the basketball and getting the shot. 1-3-1 zone by Michigan.
Blocked by Stauskas, and then Gary comes down hard, loses the ball.
Pretty good block, and then McGarry just gets his feet tied up. But that's a play you can live with.
And that's working hard?
Yeah, because you're working hard. You're trying to make 2 or 3 different new plays.
Patterson off the mark. Burke wants to run. Off the glass. He can seemingly get that anytime he wants.
He made a great play, a great point guard play, John. He stopped at the free throw line, which is where you're supposed to stop. Read the situation, decided the best move was to get to the rim, and he got there.
Kick ball.
Trey Burke faster than everybody on the floor. But right here, he slows down at the foul line, reads the defense, and then makes his move. That is exactly how you're supposed to play as a lead or point guard. Well, I think this 1-3-1 was a great move. This looks like there's a little bit of doubt in Pittsburgh's eyes.
Shot not close to the mark after he cleared space.
Oh, that's a foul. That's McGarry.
McGarry completely running over the defense of Pittsburgh as he trapped Woodall underneath him.
This may be as easy a call as you have all year in college basketball. I mean, Mitch McGarry just absolutely unloaded as he comes down the floor. Watch McGarry right there, just backing in, knocking people around, right in front of not 1 but 2 officials. Easiest call you'll see all year in college basketball.
Thought he was blocking for Devin Gardner. Underneath, Adams gets it up, but gets fouled.
Boy, good move. Good move by Jamie Dixon. He brought Zana out and told Adams, just post up the bottom man, which was Glenn Robinson III. Glenn Robinson, no match for the bigger Adams.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Oakland Zoo here on the campus of Pitt.
That's a heck of a campus.
It only looks that way, right?
That's right.
I mean, the Pitt Panthers, yeah, they're a good group of fans here, but one of the reasons why is they just play so well here. Of course, part of the Big East, but Jamie Dixon, since he's been the head coach, they've just turned it up to a new level playing here in the Big East tournament. Jamie Dixon has hoisted that trophy a couple of times and 7 times been to the final.
It's amazing. Team of the decade, the Pittsburgh Panthers here at Madison Square Garden. Jamie Dixon named the decade's coach of the year.
Might have to work on that free throw.
And he has a team that he likes. These are tough guys. Zana really tough. Robinson, I mean, very, very tough kids that are playing all out for him. This is definitely a team that's going to be in the top 25.
Stauskas clears some space. And when he does, that's going to go down.
You can't flop on a shooter. Flop on a big guy, flop on a point guard. Never, ever flop on a shooter because he's going to clear space, as you said, and make you pay. Beeline going back to the man-to-man. 1-3-1 worked pretty well for him.
Robinson sees an opening, jumps his way to the hole. Zana going after the loose ball. He's still going to stay with Pitt.
Watch here, Woodall falls down. And I believe that to be a flop. We had a pretty good view of it. And when you flop on a shooter, as good as Stauskas, you're going to pay for it. Just lucky they didn't pay with a 3.
Talk about flopping. You've been listening to John Calipari?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the funniest halftime interviews ever.
John saying that Duke was flopping in the first half. I've never heard a coach do that. John can do whatever he wants.
National championship. Can for a while. 3 on the shot clock. And they missed. Hey, Andy Katz, you did that interview with Coach Calipari when he was saying Duke was flopping.
That's true, and all I asked him was why? Why was he upset? And he offered up that they were flopping, and after the fact, you know, he wouldn't totally take ownership of it, said he was joking. Mike Krzyzewski not really laughing in the postgame either, but I can tell you that there were definitely a lot of people on Twitter reacting to that comment. It went pretty viral within 2 minutes after he said that in Atlanta.
It was funny, Andy. I thought Coach K was great the way he handled it. Said, you know what, these guys can't be fined. They're not getting paid. They can't be fined.
Do you think he'd have handled it that well had he lost, Coach K? You'd never handle anything well when you lose. Nothing.
When you win as much as Coach K, it's probably even more difficult to handle losing.
That's right.
Burke drives in, gets it on the iron, but it won't go. McGarry over the top. No foul, but out of bounds off Michigan.
John, I know Burke's been really good, but down one, that possession 2 times in a row, Burke forced things. One was a quick jump shot, and the other was going to the rim without any type of ball reversal into bigger guys. And I think Michigan would be much better served, and they can still get the same thing by doing what they normally do, which is reverse the ball a few times and then make a move as opposed to going right now.
Pittsburgh's missed their last 7 shots. In fact, they still have the lead. Finally breaking that is J.J. Moore.
3-point basket.
A deep 3.
J.J. Moore has been very good in this game. Kid's averaging 13. He's got 7, but just played a very good basketball game. Ran the floor for a bucket. Knocked in a big 3.
Hardaway Jr. trying to find space, and then reaching around is Taylor. And commits the foul.
Pretty good play by Trey Ziegler drawing
Number 11, Dante Taylor.
Morgan out. J.J. Moore knocks it in, and this is about the 3rd 3 that Pittsburgh has gotten from a little bit of penetration. And Michigan can solve that by, instead of jumping so hard to a driver, fake trapping at the driver before he makes his drive.
Hardaway down to Robinson. Robinson the 3rd from Hardaway Jr.
See, that's the action that Michigan has to run. That's the offense that John Beilein used both at West Virginia and here at Michigan, where the ball got reversed. There was a number of actions, down screen, back screens, ended up with a little slip for a bucket. You just can't beat Pittsburgh in half-court offense without ball movement or people movement. They're too solid defensively.
Good job to stay on his feet by Morgan. Wouldn't give Ziegler any room to move. Hardaway Jr. floater, no good. Morgan gets the rebound. It's stripped away. Bounce back down to Ziegler. Leans in.
Score basket for Trey Ziegler.
Aggressive was Ziegler attacking the bucket on that.
Trey Ziegler scored over 1,000 points at Central Michigan. His dad, Ernie, was the coach. Left Central Michigan. Trey transferred, immediately eligible. And this is a kid that's used to getting the ball in the basket. Averaged 16 and a half, 15 and a half, and 16 in his 3 years playing in the MAC.
Andy Katz is more on the guy who was Central Michigan's highest ever rated player.
And as Dan and I saw earlier today at shoot-around, he was highly questionable to play in this game. He was icing his hamstring. Jamie Dixon said, look, he's jumping around. I think he can go, but Ziegler really didn't know. But he did tell me, I've got to be more aggressive, attack, and do what I do. I think we saw a little of that on that play. Don't you think?
I think we've seen it the last 3 times. He just not in game shape yet. Short-armed a couple things, but at least he was very aggressive.
Hardaway out of the corner. Three's no good, but Robinson, nice position to get the rebound. No good. Hauled down by Moore.
Hardaway, or excuse me, Robinson, way too athletic to shoot a fading jump shot around the rim.
Walking foul called on Hardaway Jr. That's his third.
Michigan foul towards number 10, Tim Hardaway Jr.
I'm not going to bet with you, but this is going to be a block on Hardaway, and I think that's a bad call. I guarantee you the next one goes to Michigan.
Pitt Panthers with a 43-39 lead. 11:39 to go here in the second half. Let's take a look at the bracket for the Old Spice Classic. We see West Virginia and Maris Vandy Davidson, UTEP Oklahoma, and Clemson facing Gonzaga. I saw Gonzaga earlier this year in one of the beatdowns.
Don't you think Bob Huggins,
West Virginia?
Yeah, wouldn't he like to meet Gonzaga?
Oh my goodness! I'm not sure if he wants to meet him anytime soon.
I agree. The pride in you says, I want another crack at those guys. The reality, maybe you don't want one.
John Beilein, of course, coaching the Big East, and matched up with Jamie Dixon. Of course, he coached at West Virginia, where Bob Huggins, now the head coach at his alma mater.
Had a 7-day stretch as the head coach at West Virginia before Beilein got there.
7 days, and
7 days.
Best 7 days that program ever had.
Darn right. Turned it around.
Bowling Green guys, Bowling Green former coaches like to move around.
Sure we do. I told you the next call was going to Michigan.
Yeah, you did.
There's no question. You always know when a makeup call is coming. You just do. And I'm not saying that was a makeup. I'm just saying that was a makeup.
Referees are humans too, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Depends when you coach. Robinson, three-pointer is good.
That is so big for Michigan. That Glenn Robinson gets going. Only one basket in the first half, one basket in the second half. He's way too explosive, and he just lifted up nice and easy.
He looked just like a dad shooting that. Down to the Woodall. Down to the baseline where Moore creates some space, but no good. And then Robinson on the defensive end with the rebound. Gary came and rolled away after setting the screen, but Burke didn't give it to him. He was open.
This is a matchup I like for Michigan. Burke against Ziegler.
Burke like didn't, then he short-armed it. Ziegler had the rebound, but McGarry stripped it away from him, then too strong. And he charged into his man.
McGarry has such a high motor. He's 100% all the time, and it cost him right there. When he took the ball away from the Pittsburgh player, McGarry, you're going to see right here, you can see Stauskas coming right there wide open. McGarry just goes so fast, so hard. He gets sped up and sometimes makes awkward bad plays. But it is much better to slow a guy down, John, than it is to have to speed him up. Having to speed kids up gets you out of coaching. It does. It makes you crazy. Here's a 1-3-1. Very effective earlier in this half.
Why'd they go away from it?
I don't know. I did not think they should. I thought that this confused Pittsburgh.
Kick ball.
Shots in the 1-3-1 are going to come from the baseline, which is where J.J. Moore should be camping in the right baseline. J.J. Moore can shoot the basketball. He's already hit a three. Or they're going to come from posting up on the block.
Moore in the middle. Rattles around and out. Michigan basketball.
Yeah, interesting move right there in the 1-3-1. When the ball went to the wing, Trey Burke, who was the bottom man, came out to the wing, and McGarry took the post. Really good wrinkle for John Beilein.
Robinson puts it on the floor. Draws a crowd who nearly danced it in.
And Robinson is jet quick with the first step off the top of the key. Just sweep and go. And no chance at all for Taylor to keep Robinson in front of him. This is a pro. And this is a guy that, if Michigan is going to win this game, this is a guy that has to score in the last 10 minutes somewhere between 6 to 12 points. And the reason being, they're going to guard both. But Robinson has a good matchup, and now he's very comfortable driving, and not necessarily shooting free throws, but he's comfortable driving and shooting now.
At 65% there. The dribble lost and out of bounds. Gary quickly looked up. He was a little worried.
What's amazing, early in the season, how kids get impatient. Like when you bring the ball down on the side and defense is already there, there's no reason to take it after. Get the ball reversed. Now when it comes back, you've got the defense at a disadvantage. You can go past the guy.
Gilbert. Hardaway. Oh, what a terrific move. And going to the left hand.
Michigan has guys now. I mean, Hardaway and Robinson, they've been a little bit shut out by Burke dominating the ball, but those two guys can go to the rim just like Burke can.
Jamie Dixon calls a timeout. Tough to stop this guy.
Yeah, a little crossover. This between the legs, unlike his daddy, who had the killer crossover.
Back here at Madison Square Garden, Michigan and Pitt all knotted up at 44 apiece. Michigan ranked number 4 in the nation. One of 3 teams out of the Big Ten in the top 4 to start the season. Louisville out of the Big East, the only one to bust up the party. And Illinois right now is leading Butler in the final of the Maui Invitational. So it's interesting, but all of these teams that you see in the top 10 all playing big early season tough games. And that philosophy of 20 years ago, where you used to play that cupcake schedule at the beginning of the season, that's gone.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of cupcakes in between the big early schedule for most of these guys as well. But I got to tell you, I know we're talking about the Big Ten being good, but the Big East is no joke. I mean, Louisville, terrific. Georgetown, you and I talked about what a game they gave Indiana, and right here, you've got a Pittsburgh team that's given Michigan everything they could possibly want. And I believe this, I just think Syracuse is going to be so good this year. Jim Boeheim, I didn't realize this, John. He's going to pass Coach Knight here by the middle of the season. I did not realize that at all. What a career he has had.
Woodall just beats the shot clock. Yeah, he will go over the 900 victory mark.
And it seems like he's done it easy. Nothing's easy in coaching, but it seems like he's done it easy.
Hardaway turns to face the bucket and gets fouled. We talked about just how good the Big Ten is. Eddie Katz with more on that.
And one of the contenders in the Big Ten, Michigan State, actually got some good news earlier today on Gary Harris, their star freshman guard. Tom Izzo, after their game last night against Boise State, thought that Gary Harris was going to be out for a very long time. But Michigan State issued a statement earlier today saying that he's got a shoulder sprain and he'll just be out a couple of weeks. But there are huge games coming up. Minnesota takes on Duke tomorrow in the battle for Atlantis down in the Bahamas. We're still waiting to see how good Minnesota is with Trevor Mbakwe. So a lot of key games still coming up for the Big Ten in advance of the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Yeah, Mbakwe's a double-double guy, but more important than that, Trevor Mbakwe, the most fouled guy in the Big Ten 2 years ago.
Michigan's first lead of the second half. Sounds like we're at Chrysler Arena in Michigan right now. Woodall turns it over. Hardaway thought about it, pulls it out to Burke. Stauskas in for a closer look. Robinson, nice job by Pitt to close those gaps in a hurry. Maybe even a nice job by Michigan to be patient.
No doubt. Could have taken 3 different bad shots there and didn't take any of them.
Shot clock go at 5 now, and Burke launches a long-range 3 off the mark.
Maybe they should have taken one of the bench. That's bad play by Burke. Burke had 5 seconds. Burke can get the length of the court in 5 seconds.
Robinson.
Problem you have for Pitt is where do you go get offense now?
Finger roll that was short arm by Patterson. Robinson moves to his left. Jumper is sweet. He knew it.
That's exactly right, John. The 3 that he hit earlier put a different look on Robinson's face. Robinson got beat on defense here by Patterson. Patterson just short-armed it just a little bit, like he blew a tire. And then on the other end, Burke takes it again to the elbow. Little step through. Robinson knew he had knocked that out, and he's a different player. Early in the game, he was a little bit frozen out. Wasn't getting the ball. 2 shots in the first half. But in the second half here, you can tell that Glenn Robinson III, a much more confident guy, would serve Michigan well, give them the ball every chance they get.
9-0 run for the Wolverines, and ESPN College Basketball available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Pitt shot 52% in the first half and 20% here in the second half.
Some good looks. Trey Ziegler had a couple on the basket that he short-armed. We just talked about Patterson short-arming a shot, but I think the 1-3-1 that they went to earlier in the half and then came back here a few minutes ago has really made a difference. And it's made a difference because it has slowed the driving, penetrating pitch of Pittsburgh down, which is a big part of their offense.
Jamie Dixon has Zana and Adams back on the floor, so it wants to go size.
2-3 zone and look for someone to get the middle.
Patterson, shot is good.
He knew it too. He shot it. He shot it backed up.
47.
Shot missing. He's one of those guys who just about every time he goes up, it looks like it's going to go in.
No surprise that he missed it.
Adams cuts to the bucket, too strong with it. Hardaway came away with the rebound and gives it to Burke. Gets it back and is wide open for a 3. That's good.
Michigan leads 51-47.
Down with those little guys. It's never a good idea. Michigan right now with the lead at 4. 5.5 to go here at Madison Square Garden.
ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving.
Michigan with a 4-point lead. Just over 5.5 minutes to go here. Pitt lead 38-31 with 18:30 to go. Let's go inside the play.
John, transition defense is communication, and you're going to see playing a couple big guys, it's difficult for them to communicate. Adams misses the shot. All right, tips around. Now Hardaway comes out with it. Now we're going to pause it about right here. That's fine, right here. Now you see Patterson is talking. He's telling his teammates he wants Zana out and he wants Adams up. It's great to talk, but the other guys have to listen. Watch the 2 big guys. On ball reversal, nobody gets out anywhere, and a wide open 3 for Tim Hardaway Jr. Communication so important, and not just one guy. 3 guys have to be talking and finding shooters.
Now, I mean this in all seriousness. Zana's a junior, but Zana's from Nigeria and Adams from New Zealand. And that, I don't mean that as far as communication language-wise. I mean, as far as basketball communication.
No question. And you know what? They're bigger kids. That's the danger of playing two big kids. Because Michigan doesn't have a big kid other than McGarry. So one of the two is going to have to find a shooter, whether it's Hardaway, whether it's Robinson, whoever it is. And it's a real danger against Michigan to not have good matchups. Transition is just one of the areas.
Adams comes to set the high screen. Shot clock is down to 5. Got to go to work in a hurry. Zana going after the rebound. Adams going after the rebound. Neither came away with it.
Mindless dribble. You know, Rick Majerus always used the term judicious with your dribble. And Trey Ziegler just kind of dribbled the ball down the lane into a problem and in turn and took a shot. You have to be judicious with your dribble. You have to use the dribble to get you somewhere.
Mentioned Rick Majerus, and I wish him a speedy recovery as well.
One of the great coaches, people in college basketball history. I just don't like all the dribbling from Michigan. They may get a bucket out of the end of this, but this disrupts the flow. You have Hardaway and you have Robinson going, and they're not going to touch the ball in this possession.
Burke launches an NBA range 3, no good. McGarry goes in there between two Pitt players, and then Stauskas goes in hard, followed up by Robinson.
Stauskas just couldn't finish, but because of the penetration, the defense had to shift. People were out of position. Robinson took advantage. Look at the active hands now.
Hardaway really out there defensively. Now on the hip pocket. Patterson, great move. Strong with the left hand.
This is a great move by Patterson, but watch McGarry. McGarry had help to his left. He jumped left, opened up a lane, and a kid as good, as tough, as skilled as Patterson is going to read that. McGarry has to now come out. McGarry had help on his left. Instead of pushing the ball that way, he jumped that way. Patterson took advantage.
McGarry's 4th foul. As you say, a trip to the bench. Gets Morgan back in, who's a starter.
I cannot believe seeing Glenn Robinson Jr. 2 years ago in the summertime at AAU event, the Indiana High School State Tournament. I cannot believe the difference in his body. He was a skinny guy, and now he has an NBA body with NBA shoulders and arms.
He's a freshman.
Just a freshman.
He's going to get stronger. Burke again weaving his way. Morgan cut his way to the bucket. Wide open, but Burke thought better of it. It's too early to think about working time off that clock. So they've gone deep into possession every trip these last few times. Hardaway. Three-pointer no good. Now Pitt is getting beat up on the glass. Morgan got that rebound. Now again, Michigan's going to take a lot of time off the clock before they're going to work offensively. Hardaway, tough shot, but he gets it.
John, that's a standard John Beilein set right there. It ends with a kind of a clear out for a right-handed driver. The drive was for Hardaway to go right with Trey Burke in the right-hand corner, forcing a difficult situation for the defender Woodall on Burke.
Woodall with it. Over the top. Patterson. Three-pointer no good. Stauskas with the rebound.
They should go right back to the same set because it puts you in a position to drive it late clock. This is the same set, just the other side. Left-handed drive there with Burke in the corner.
Hardaway has a nice job of swinging that ball through to draw the foul.
Very well schooled in one-on-one basketball. Michigan playing well here in the second half. Well, Michigan has 6 second-chance points here in the second half. Most of them, or all of them, within the last 10 minutes. You're going to see Hardaway with a shot. McGarry stepping inside with a big offensive rebound. Or excuse me, Morgan stepping inside which leads to this, a little penetration. Tim Hardaway Jr. with a finish. Like, it's been big here in the second half. Michigan, whether it's McGarry or Jordan Morgan, going to the rim, but equally as big has been Robinson and Hardaway's involvement in the game. The ball has been swung to them far more often in the second half. It was dominated more by Burke in the first half.
Andy, we're going to see a great finish here.
Well, I'm sure Pitt would like to have another great finish like they had in 2007 when this man, Levance Fields, hit a three-pointer in overtime to take down the Duke Blue Devils. That was back in December 2007. I was at that game. It will go down as one of the best shots a Pittsburgh players ever made in this building.
Oh, Levance Fields, he hit some big shots here in Big East tournament games as well. But yes, remember that against the Dukies. That's Levance Field, another one of those New Yorkers. It's another reason why Jamie Dixon likes it so much here in New York. He recruits so well out of New York.
Jamie Dixon told me, 4 kids now out of New York, that's rare for him. He needs more. He said, I'm used to 6, 7, or 8.
Levance Fields again. 2:20 left in a 5-point lead as Michigan tries to make their way to the championship game against Kansas State. There's Gibson getting a shot as they just were too powerful in the front court against Delaware.
And that kid was a raise. Look where the position is right here. Gibson came out in the second half. After the bigs for Kansas State were kind of floundering in the first half, and he just took over the basketball game. Made 2 really good passes out of the post along with going to the glass and getting great post position.
All part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Kansas State against Delaware, but I'll tell you what, Delaware is a good basketball team. Really. The big man Higgins doesn't get into the cramps with both legs. They might have won that game. It's going to be tough this year. Robinson pulls up. Rivals in and out. Sana with the rebound. Woodall almost with the strip. Hardaway gets it on the iron and somehow gets it to go.
Well, lucky there is Robinson made a forced pass. Ball tipped around. Hardaway with great hands, and he put his hand on the rim. As soon as he shot it, his chin was on the rim, and he kept it there. Ball rolled in.
James Robinson thinks about a three-pointer. Patterson then tries to enter the ball. It does. Poked away. Stauskas ahead of the pack. Loses the dribble. Gets it back. And he gets fouled. That's one occasion where losing the dribble probably helped him.
Stauskas though with great poise, as most Canadians do, as you well know, John.
Pittsburgh foul number 21 on Patterson, his third.
Tough shot by Pittsburgh. You're going to see the ball forced ahead, tipped around, and Hardaway, just with a terrific instinct and terrific hands, gets it to go. The difference in the game has been the 1-3-1 zone. Start earlier in half, got Michigan back into the game. Jamie Dixon and Pittsburgh have not been able to figure out a method to beating and keeping guys in the corner, maybe somebody in the middle. They've been all over the ice with it, and nothing's really worked.
Stauskas knocking down those free throws. They call him YouTube. He used to put all his basketball video of himself playing in high school on YouTube to help with his recruiting. Nice job by Sana. Which is what a lot of Canadian kids do. Jesse Palmer, who played quarterback at Florida, then with the New York Giants, who works with me on ABC College Football on Saturdays. That's how he got discovered, was sending out all his... YouTube wasn't around for Jesse then, but sending out all his videos, and Steve Spurrier saw him, and thank goodness for YouTube rather, for Stauskas, it helped get him a scholarship at Michigan.
Well, Rex Grossman. You know Rex Grossman from Bloomington, Indiana, got to play there. He's dad, and he drove down to Spurrier's office with their video. Sat in the office, Spurrier saw it and offered him immediately a walk-on chance. So parents out there, I mean, get your video out. But make it a whole game. Don't show a highlight video. All right, right here, Michigan's got to run some clock. You have 20 seconds, basically, with a minute to go. This will be in Burke's hands. If he gives it up, I'm guessing he'll get it back, and we'll go to a late high ball screen.
And then John Beilein wants a timeout. As you mentioned, they can work it down to
30 seconds.
about 40 seconds left on the clock before having to shoot it. And if they were to make that shot, it would be a huge hole for Pitt to try and climb out of in 40 seconds.
Coming out of timeouts late in the game, when John Beilein and his staff know that the other team's going to be really pressuring, they'll go to a back cut along the baseline, usually right side. But don't be surprised if some type of dribble action at the wing doesn't result in a back cut here for Michigan.
If you're Pittsburgh,
I think if you're Pittsburgh,
game plan. Right now?
I do. You have 52 seconds. I know it's a two-possession game, but Pittsburgh not a great three-point shooting team. I just, you know, you can let this play out if you'd like, but you're going to be down to less than 40 seconds with a 6-point deficit. But I thought you had to foul earlier. I'm a big proponent of allowing, keeping the game going. These kids will miss some free throws, particularly early in the year in an environment like this.
Well, looks like Pitt's going to play defense.
They're going to stay in the zone. Watch Robinson going back to the left. Nope.
Burke took a deep three, and there were still 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Launch one that deep. Woodall, three-pointer rolls down and good.
3-point basket, Trent Woodall.
Glenn Robinson guarding Woodall. What a great shot by Woodall. But Glenn Robinson is 6'7" with really long arms, but he played at 6'2" or 5'10" because he didn't put his arms up when Woodall was eyeing that shot. He should have had his arms up the minute Woodall caught the ball. If Woodall beats him, fine. I mean, watch Robinson here on the penetration. Robinson spun around. His arms are down. His hands are down. And you know right then Woodall's going to shoot the ball. And by the time Robinson lifts up his right hand or his left hand, it's just like the sight of a gun. It has no effect at all on Woodall and his jump shot.
Well, it's huge because at the other end, Trey Burke launched an NBA range 3. As I say, if that's going to be your shot, I would think you'd take it all the way down, right?
John, you can always take a bad shot. You can always get a 40-footer from that stamp here on center court. You know, you're talking about 4 or 5 seconds in the half, I mean, or in the shot clock. And you see 5 seconds when he released it. Now, if you're Pittsburgh, you switch everything on the entry pass, and then you foul, I think, immediately. Just simply because you got 30 seconds, 3-point game. Now, you want as many opportunities as you can to score, but get a trap, make a steal. If you don't, foul.
Next on ESPN2, Sports Center. Get you ready with everything else that happened in the college basketball world, as well as everything around the NBA and NFL news and such. So stick around, that's coming up when we're done, but it could be a long way from being done. There's the foul, yeah.
7 of 10. Freshman. They did what they should do. Got a trap. Stauskas, you don't want to foul him. Best shooter in the building. If he misses, you can just go down and get a good shot. Take it to the rim, penetrate pitch, penetrate extra dribble, go to the rim.
Well, if he misses it, you may get a layup at the other end.
I'm sure I'm wrong about this, but in high school, in college, I don't think I ever saw his dad miss a big shot. Glenn Robinson.
No. He just hit 2 big ones right there.
Taking it for Michigan, number 13, Matt Aldridge.
Aldridge is going to come in for Stauskas, so that go to the senior for the freshman. Defensive end.
Extra dribble. Great dribble by Robinson.
James Robinson. It's the late 61 to the
Any time off the
Foul immediately.
They get caught. They thought they had to steal. Jamie Dixon with a smile. I'm sure that beneath that smile is something a little more
Pittsburgh foul on
intimidating.
James Robinson.
That was not a foul. Robinson went behind him behind Burke, tipped the ball away into the stomach of his team.
Trey Burke at the line, shooting 1+1.
He's made 7 free throws in a row.
Checking in for Michigan, number 11, Nick Strauskis.
John, same thing again. 18 seconds, as quick as they've been scoring. Just go get a basket, make it a one-possession game as long as you can, and foul immediately, make it a one-possession game for as long as you can make it.
Do it as fast as they did last time. I think barely 3 seconds came off the clock. John Beeline wants a timeout.
Right. Don't be surprised if there isn't some extended 1-3-1 pressure.
30-second timeout, Michigan.
Which John used against Evan Turner a couple years ago. Late shot clock in the Big Ten tournament. Turner threw in a jump shot from basically just inside the half-court line.
Yep.
But in this situation, you do risk, because of gaps in the zone, giving up a three-point shot. But John has a history of doing that, extending a 1-3-1, getting guys, long-arm guys with their hands up, and at least slowing down the basketball.
I'll tell you, we've seen 2 pretty good basketball games here tonight. We're seeing 2 very good basketball teams. The winner of this game will go on to face Kansas State. Kansas State, very physical, hit the glass. An interesting matchup.
Yeah, and I think Pittsburgh's a top 25 team. I don't have a vote. I don't know if you do, but I don't have a vote. But if I
have a vote, it doesn't count.
I vote at my house. You and I have a vote. It's a John and Dan vote. A little extended pressure here, back to a 2-3 zone.
Robinson again, just like he did the last time. Took a little longer, but goes coast to coast. Drops it in to get it back to a 1-possession game.
30-second timeout, Pittsburgh. 30.
That's what I don't like. Ed Corbett's doing something he should not do, the referee. He went over and just stood there and talked to John Beeline and actually kind of stood in their huddle. Here you're going to see the penetration. Robinson makes a terrific basketball play, just like he did against Oakland, which saved the day, made 2 free throws, sent it to overtime. But I don't like that from an official. He should be out of their huddle. He's too close right now. He should be out of their huddle.
You coaches, you don't even want them in the building.
If you didn't have to have them, you would never want them. There's a lot of things that get you out of coaching, and one of them is the official. And now the other official, you can go to the huddle after the first horn. I'm good with that. But Ed Corbett was sitting there having a chat after he was blowing kisses to Kelly Tripucka. That's ridiculous to me. He was. It's ridiculous. It means too much to these players here to have officials doing anything other than concentrating on what it is that they're supposed to be doing.
Final 11 seconds here. Trouble getting it in. Oh, Stout turned his back. And then the foul is called. And Pitt is wondering as Patterson picks up his 5th, but Patterson couldn't believe it. Stauskas turned his back on the ball and almost turned it over.
I'm not so sure Stauskas didn't step out of bounds.
Ooh, that's awful close. It's tough to tell from that angle. He grabbed his shorts kind of on the way up.
Right hand came across, but you can't really see. But in my angle, I thought he stepped out of bounds.
Patterson with a good night with 14 points.
That's 2 inbounds that Michigan has not handled very well. Previous one was a bad call. They had knocked the ball out.
9 in a row now from the free throw line for Michigan. That's going to win you a lot of basketball games.
And you're going to have to do that in a league like the Big Ten, without question. You're going to come down to situations like this basically all year long. I don't think these referees understand that Pittsburgh has been the team of the decade here in Madison Square Garden. They're not getting any calls.
9 seconds to go, and again, Robinson's going to try and go coast to coast, tries to draw a foul this time. But again scores, and this time does draw.
Trey Burke, for some reason, was playing incredibly physical with Robinson at 30 feet. I thought he fouled him in front of our stand here at half court, and it continued. It never stopped.
But when he finally did back off, that's when it was called. It was too late.
John, he backed off, but he reached in as he was backing off.
Misses the free throw, and Robinson almost just held ball. Possession arrow, Michigan. Oh boy.
Possession, Michigan.
There was an absolute takedown, WWE style. Morgan Moore was involved. Let's see the free throw. Guy's getting after it pretty good. You can't see it. There's a jump ball, but in the background, Jordan Morgan just went John Cena on Moore with a big-time takedown.
1.5 left. They have to immediately get the guy who catches the ball, or it's going to be over. That was an interesting held ball.
You don't think there's makeup calls? Referees are at the monitor.
They're probably checking the time.
No, I think they're checking the time, and I think they're also checking to see if there was an elbow to the face here by Morgan.
After review, the clock is correct at 1.5.
Checking the time, but
Yeah, checking the time.
I'm not sure about that held ball.
Michigan wants a timeout. No. Fell. They get the foul called with no time off the clock, which is sometimes difficult to do.
Pittsburgh foul.
NBA gives you 2 shots at the ball, which is a great rule, I think.
Well, it's intentional foul, non-intentional foul. It's clear when we get down this part of the game. They're all intentional.
No question. No question. Free throw here wins. Puts it into a 2-possession game, so it's over. The Michigan fans beat Ohio. Beat Ohio. Goes up Michigan State game coming up.
And your final score, the Michigan
Sean Beeline and the Michigan Wolverines over Jamie Dixon and the Pitt Panthers. So Michigan will go on to face Kansas State in a season tip-off NIT final. Kansas State a winner earlier tonight over Delaware. Both of these semifinal matchups pretty hard fought.
Really good games by 4 teams. This meant a lot to. That's what makes this the best tournament. You have to win to get here. You know, you don't just get an automatic run to the Final Four like a lot of tournaments do. In the NIT, you have to win to advance. It means a lot.
Andy Katz is with the game-winning coach.
All right, thank you, John. And John Beeline, you told me earlier at shoot-around that you love coaching this team. Why?
Well, I just love them because they're so eager to learn. And, like, when they make mistakes, you see, I don't even get that upset. You know, we made some plays down the stretch there when we had a chance to come back, and we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. We don't even get upset because they're so willing to learn. Andy, it's such a pleasure to coach them.
You hadn't had a close game yet, but you hadn't played a team as good as Pittsburgh.
It's really good.
What'd you learn in playing them?
Well, we couldn't get open shots today. I mean, they really guarded us very well. Just on a couple days prep, they guarded us really well. And we learned about the big and banging of the Big Ten, the Big East. We hadn't seen that with a lot of our young guys.
That's right. We saw it again last night with Indiana, Georgetown. You've got now a Big Ten, Big 12 battle on Friday night against Kansas State.
Yep.
What are you looking forward to in that matchup?
Oh, well, I tell you, Bruce Weber's a heck of a coach. And just watching the team, the numbers they put up early. They love playing for them. They're getting up and down. We'll have our hands full. I haven't seen enough of them yet. All I know is any team that Bruce coaches is a pretty good team.
Well, if I know you, you're going to be studying over that turkey on Thursday.
We'll be working a lot during Turkey Day, yes.
All right, back to you, John.
Andy, thanks a lot. And Dan, what do you expect in the final?
I expect Michigan to win. I'll tell you why. I think Michigan got much more comfortable in their own skin. As Andy said, they hadn't really played anybody that put a challenge to them. And I think as this game went on, this is going to be a great springboard for Michigan. But I do agree with John when he says a team coached by Bruce Weber is a terrific basketball team. Coaches know that, fans may not, but coaches understand that, John.
All right, so Kansas State and Michigan in the final. For Dan Dockage and Andy Katz, I'm John Saunders. Let's go to SportsCenter.